such a stupid and dangerous thing to do, walking through this rainforest. I really just want to get out of here right now.
Yeah, that didn't go well. If you want to know how I ended up stranded and drenched in the Malaysian rainforest, watch till the end. Our story begins in the Malaysian capital. After spending a week in Kuala Lumpur, I wanted to see some other parts of the country. Today we are traveling to the fabled Cameron Highlands. The Cameron Highlands are one of Malaysia's oldest tourist attractions. They were named after William Cameron, a British geologist and traveler. Cameron mapped out the area between the states of Pahang and Perak in the 1880s. During his expedition, he found lots of interesting fauna and flora as well as a very mild climate. 40 years later, the British colonial government started developing the area. They built sanatoriums, hotels, but also lots of farms and tea plantations. Today, the region still lives from farming and tourism. On my first full day, I casually explored a beautiful tea plantation. The next day, I went solo hiking into the rainforest. It was here where things took a pretty disastrous turn. But let's start at the beginning. Our journey commences at Kuala Lumpur bus station.
Good morning from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. We are now at the main bus station here and we're going to take a bus to the Cameron Highlands. And I'm really looking forward to this because the Cameron Highlands are supposedly one of the most beautiful places here. So let's go find our bus. Welcome to the Malaysian Cameron Highlands. We are now in Brinchang and yeah, this bus journey was super exhausting. Lots of corners and yeah, it's now 4:30 p.m. I think I won't do much else today, just have some rest and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
The next morning, I got myself a bike and headed deeper into the Cameron Highlands.
Alright, so we have made it to the BOH Tea Plantation and the journey coming up here is already an adventure. The landscapes are absolutely mesmerizing and you do have to be careful when driving up this little mountain road. So yeah, now we'll have a look around and see what this tea plantation is like, but as you can see here, it's pretty gorgeous.
The company of BOH has several tea plantations in the Cameron Highlands. It was founded by the British in 1929 and continues to produce amazing tea to this day. Inside, I tried out some excellent Earl Grey with a view of the plantation. I also visited the plantation's shop and bought some, you guessed it, tea. It was a Sunday, so the site was extremely busy, but it's still a very beautiful place to visit.
Alright, got myself some tea that I bought here. And yeah, it was around $5 for 40 tea bags, which I think is pretty reasonable considering that this is a very famous tea plantation here in Malaysia. And yeah, it's an absolutely gorgeous location, I have to say. It is very crowded, especially on Sundays, but you know, that's what you get when you have these beautiful tea plantation landscapes.
After spending some time at the tea plantation, I rode my bike back into the town of Brinchang and went looking for some local food.
This looks like a good place. So I got all this food here and half the stuff I have no idea what it is. So these are some vegetables. This is beef, this one as well. This is some vegetable as well. And this is rice. So let's try. Very tasty. I did have some trouble with street food in KL, but that was Chinese street food. This is more Malay style. So let's hope that it goes well.
The rest of the afternoon was very rainy, so I decided to continue my exploration the following morning.
It's now day 3, and today we're going to try to ascend to the tallest peak of the Cameron Highlands. And to get there is actually quite difficult. You have to walk through these plantations here. I don't really know what they are, but yeah, you have to walk up this road here, and then at some point you're going to get to the trailhead. So let's see what awaits us there.
The summit trail starts in a small village next to Brinh Chang. I walked around the village for a while but couldn't find the trail. After 20 minutes of looking around without success, I accidentally entered some kind of industrial plant. A security guard swiftly told me to piss off.
So I just got kicked out of whatever plant this is. There was a security guard and he told me, "You are in the wrong place." I was like, okay, so how do I get to the mountain? And he didn't know. So back to the village.
Back in the village, I asked some locals.
So the other side of this house. After and then left. Okay, thank you. Terima kasih.
And spent another 20 minutes searching for the trail. The area was extremely polluted and there were no signs. I was ready to give up, but a few steps from the main road I finally saw a sign.
Let's see if it's this one. I think we got ourselves a trail. So let's continue. Here we have a marked tree. That could mean trail, but it could also mean something else. No idea. Oh, and now we gotta climb over this tree here. Yeah, but this is definitely a trail here. This is marked. It's very wet, very slippery, but nice hiking.
What I didn't realize at the time is that all of the trails in this rainforest had been closed off due to unsafe conditions. So, like a complete idiot, I went solo hiking into a closed rainforest. What could possibly go wrong?
Now this is some real jungle here. Wow, looks pretty cool actually. I have to say this hike is tough. Now I am a reasonably fit person. I'm not an athlete, but still, I normally do these hikes and I am struggling quite a bit. Wow, there's some kind of cave inside a tree. Now I'm not gonna go in there because there might be some animal, who knows? I have no idea what kind of animals they have here, but I didn't read about anything on the internet, so far only mosquitoes and birds.
Apparently, they also have monkeys in this forest. And a few weeks before I visited, there was even a tiger sighting. Luckily, I didn't come across any of those. There was a point where I felt that something was off. No other hikers were in this forest and the trails became more and more irregular. I still had the chance to turn around, but I decided to soldier on. Not one of my brightest ideas.
I've been hiking for almost 2 hours now, and I haven't come across any other people, any other hikers. Obviously, on the one hand, that is very good because the trail isn't crowded. On the other hand, you might think, is it safe to just hike through the Malaysian jungle like this? And to be honest, I was asking myself the same thing. You know, if you fall down and break your leg here, and there are definitely enough spots where that could happen, then you are obviously in deep shit. So, if you are scared of that, then don't be an idiot like myself and do this alone.
This has been a challenging but relatively safe hike so far. Well, that's about to change. After 2.5 hours of muddy, steep and wet trails, I made it to the summit. The summit, however, wasn't the end. As unprepared as I was, I hadn't researched the route properly, because after the summit, there was another 1.5 kilometers of steep trails to get to the next road. By now, it had also started raining. I had been expecting a storm, but I thought that I would have finished the trail in time to avoid it. I now had to hike another 90 minutes through dangerous terrain by myself during a rainstorm. Yeah, a pretty rough day at the office.
Situation update. It's raining like hell. I have no idea where I'm going, and I really have to get out of this forest now. Luckily, I found a rope here, so I think that this must be the right way. But obviously, it's all downhill now, Going down isn't physically very challenging, but it's just dangerous in this rain. So I don't think I'm gonna film that much because I really have to concentrate. The things I do for YouTube, man. Such a stupid and dangerous thing to do. Walking through this rainforest in this rain. I just hope that my backpack stays dry inside, because I got all my camera gear in there. Got my GoPro here, of course. That is fine, but yeah, I'm still on the trail, so that is good. But I have to be so careful not to fall down. Look at this place right there. Some real jungle. And yeah, now I do get a bit of cover from the rain. I mean, I'm still getting wet, but it's okay. But yeah, now at this point, I'm just telling myself, Jack, you are so stupid. You know, even when I was at that summit, I told myself I should have just taken the same way back down, because at least I know what it's like. This one right here, I have no idea. So far, it's not that bad, but still, I really just want to get out of here right now.
After another 90 minutes of dangerous hiking, I finally made it out of the rainforest.
So apparently there is some kind of road here that leads back to the village. I am out of the forest. You cannot imagine how happy I am. This is some kind of road, and there is some kind of house.
However, that wasn't the end of my ordeal. A quick glance at Google Maps revealed that I was 7 kilometers away from the next town. I tried using Grab, but of course that wasn't working. So then I decided to call my hotel as well as a few taxi companies.
Yeah, so I'm staying in room 403, and I'm actually I am at the mossy forest, and I need a taxi. Is it possible for you to send me one? That would be very kind. In Mossy Forest, the entrance to Mossy Forest.
I don't understand, sir.
Alright, she gave me the number for a taxi company. So let's try our luck.
I don't know, sir. You have Facebook?
Facebook? No, I need a taxi. You are a taxi company, right?
Yeah?
Yeah, so I need a taxi I am at the Mossy Forest. The entrance to the Mossy Forest. You can check.
But, I don't have the number, the agent.
The what?
I don't have the number agent to go to the Mossy Forest.
After calling 3 different taxi companies with no one able or willing to send me a taxi to this remote location, I was stranded in the middle of nowhere. So after having done already 5 hours of hiking in the rainforest, I now had another 7 kilometers in front of me on a road.
Alright, situation update. The good news is it kind of stopped raining, so I'm not getting that wet anymore. There's a bit of drizzle and, you know, just some rain falling from the trees. But the bad news is I called 2 more taxi companies. The first one actually understood what I wanted, but they didn't want to come up here to the Mossy Forest. And the second one didn't understand me or didn't want to help, whatever. So now I have to walk. And I actually have one hope. There is a strawberry farm not too far away, according to Google. So I kind of hope that this strawberry farm will be able to call me a taxi, or that, you know, they will find some solution. But my hopes are pretty low. So I might just have to walk the entire way, which is about 2 to 3 hours back to Brinchang. But it will be on a road, so that shouldn't be too bad. Alright, this looks like the strawberry farm, and it's absolutely massive. But more importantly for me, there are no cars in sight. I have no clue how to get out of here. Maybe I will ask some people. Unfortunately, there's nobody here. Basically, there are some people working up there in these shacks, but don't really want to walk all the way up there and then ask them, and they probably won't understand me, and you know, they might not be able to help. So I kind of think that there might be another building here, because this right here is all just plantation, but there must be some kind of office, house, whatever. And also this strawberry farm is listed on Google, so it might be a tourist attraction as well. So yeah, I think I will have to continue a bit more. Let's see. I'm kind of losing hope here, to be honest. I might just have to walk for another 2 hours to get back to Brinchang.
At the strawberry farm, I had pretty much given up. There were no cars and no taxis anywhere near this place, and I would have to walk back. But then I got lucky for the first time today. Out of nowhere, a car appeared. It was a tourist from Baghdad, Iraq of all places, who was looking for the mossy forest and jungle trails. When I told him that the trails were all closed, he decided to turn around and take me back to the village with him. During the car journey, we had an amazing conversation and he dropped me off right in front of my hotel.
Thank you, shukran, bye. What a legend. So Mr. Kaisaran from Baghdad, Iraq just saved my day here in Malaysia. So he wanted to do the mossy forest hike, but then he realized that it was quite a long hike and he didn't want to do it anymore. So he turned around and then he saw me. I mean, he had previously seen me. So then he saw me walking there and he was like, yeah, I'll just take you back to the town. And now he dropped me off right in front of my hotel. I mean, this guy, what a legend. And this is just another example of people being kind all over the world. I mean, 99.9% of people are just amazing. This guy, he saw me there on the road and he probably thought to himself, oh, this guy might need some help. So now he drove me all the way back to my hotel. And I actually saved the money for a taxi and it was such a nice gesture. You know, I could have gotten here without him. I would have had to walk probably another 2 hours and it really started raining again now. So it would have been very unpleasant, but he just said to himself, all right, let's help this guy. And that is how 99% of the people all around the world are, even if the media tries to tell you otherwise.
After cleaning up, I headed to the next laundry and tried to save my completely ruined clothes. Later that evening, I had dinner at a well-known Chinese restaurant. The lemon chicken was tasty and I had a big bottle of beer in a tiny glass. That was well deserved. Many people will say that I took a few too many risks today, and you might be right. But in the end, risk and danger is what makes us feel alive. Even though my hike didn't go according to plan, it was a pretty memorable experience.
That was some excellent Chinese food. And yeah, this is the end of my little Cameron Highlands exploration. And as I said before, today was a bit more adventurous than I would have anticipated. So I hope you had as much fun watching this as I had being there. And yeah, thanks very much for watching and see you next time. Goodbye.